Hey everyone, Pratima here. So I have been using the OnePlus Nord CE 4 for over 2 weeks now. I have been comparing it against two of my favorite mid-range phones of 2024, the Poco X6 Pro and the Nothing Phone 2a. And my honest opinion is this is the most balanced mid-range phone under 25,000 Indian rupees right now. There still are a few things that the Nord CE 4 does not do right, yes, but in most aspects it delivers great results. So let me start with the positives first. First, I really dig this marble back design. It looks very attractive from the back. It's one of those safe-looking designs that would appeal to most audiences, unlike the Nothing Phone 2a and the Poco X6 Pro. It's just very simple and elegant to look at. And although the back is a glossy plastic here, it does not catch fingerprints and smudges easily and has a very good heft to it despite the use of plastic all around. Although if I have to nitpick, I like the overall heft of the Nothing Phone 2 better. Up front, the display is also a solid 8 out of 10 here. It has a really nice color reproduction and excellent viewing angles, so watching movies and shows is superb here. After the update, it can also play HDR videos on both Netflix and Amazon Prime, so that is great as well. However, I found this display to have a slight bluish tint and is more on the cooler side, which could be a little annoying, so I changed the color temperature to be on the warmer side for a more comfortable experience. The Nord CE 4's display also has 2160Hz high PWM dimming and a TUV Rainland low blue light certification, which is also nice to see at this very price bracket. But the touch sampling rate here is just 240Hz, and I did notice the display to not be as responsive compared to, say, the Poco X6 Pro, especially while playing high FPS games, but casual users might not notice this that much. This panel is fairly bright too, and I had no trouble in most cases, but when you're out in an extremely sunny day where there is a lot of glare, visibility takes a big hit here. OnePlus has also borrowed its Aqua Touch technology on this phone too, so if your hands are wet or there are some droplets of water because of rain, you will still be able to tap and swipe effortlessly on this phone. Likewise, with most mid-range phones of 2024, you get an optical in-display fingerprint sensor here that's in a slightly downward position, but if you look at OnePlus's more expensive phones, the fingerprint sensors there is slightly above, which in my opinion is a more comfortable position for your thumbs to unlock. But I am quite happy to see a really good X-axis vibration motor here, which is precise and has really nice feedback whenever I'm typing or clicking the navigation buttons. At this price range, I have seen companies like Samsung and Honor providing Y-axis vibration, which is just really buzzy and weak. The speakers here are very good too, especially if you watch a lot of TV shows. The clarity in the voice is just great. For casually listening to music too, these speakers will not disappoint you. Anyway, the most balanced aspect of this phone is the user experience. For me, the Nothing Phone 2a is just too slow for its class, although you get one of the best UIs. The Poco X6 Pro is wickedly fast, but the Xiaomi UI is simply not that great. The Nord CE 4 on the other hand uses the powerful Snapdragon 7 Gen 3, which I know is not as powerful as the Dimensity 8300 on the Poco X6 Pro, but you get a very smooth lag-free experience here. The Oxygen OS is neat, the 120Hz refresh rate rendering is very nicely done, and it can keep most apps in memory for a speedy multitasking. Gaming is also pretty good on this phone. Although there is no 90 FPS mode in PUBG Mobile, you can play at fairly smooth 60 FPS in smooth graphics and extreme frame rate settings. And the 99% and even the 95% FPS I am getting here is really good, and also the gyro sensor works very well here. But I have to tell you that in Genshin Impact in medium 45 FPS settings, it does not perform that well. After like 5 minutes into the game, the FPS dips to 35 FPS and there are some lags here and there. So if you play Genshin Impact a lot, you are going to get a lot better FPS from the Poco X6 Pro. It can even play smoothly in higher graphics. Now, summer is already here, so I was expecting some form of overheating on the Nord CE 4 while gaming, and I was right. Maybe that's also because OnePlus has not mentioned any kind of vapor chamber cooling solution on this phone, but it stays fairly cool if you're not using mobile data and just using social media or WhatsApp on your Wi-Fi network. Another winning feature of the OnePlus Nord CE4 is its battery life. If you look at all the OnePlus phones from 2024, you're getting a huge 5400 or 5500 mAh batteries, and you get the same treatment on this phone as well. Hence, I was getting outstanding battery life here. You can look at the screen on time results on the screen. On a day when I was using the camera a lot, I was getting 7 hours of screen on time, whereas on a different day when I was gaming a lot, I got similar 7 hours of screen on time. So yeah, this phone has excellent battery life. Charging this phone is also super fast. You get a 100-watt power brick inside the box, which charges the phone from 0 to 100% in just about 30 minutes. Okay, so the camera is one of the aspects where the sub 25,000 mid-range phones struggle big time. I found the Nothing Phone 2A's cameras to be pretty ordinary, and the Poco X6 Pro is also not very reliable when it comes to cameras. I think the main reason behind this is that both of them use a Samsung and an OmniVision sensor respectively, but with the Nord CE4, OnePlus has provided both its primary and ultra-wide-angle cameras with a Sony sensor. Hence, because of that superior hardware, I am getting better results on this OnePlus phone. First, if you zoom in to most of the photos, you will notice better sharpness and details in images as compared to the Nothing Phone 2A. You will also get better dynamic range, shadows and highlight control in most of the photos from the Nord CE4. Nothing's output is mostly contrasty and not very natural in most images I took versus the nicely balanced shot with great contrast you get on the Nord CE4. The superior details and sharpness on the CE4 is even more prominent if you compare the 2x zoom shots from these phones. I was also surprised to see OnePlus competing so well in the ultra wide angle shots. It's more bright and pleasing to look at. This goes on to show how megapixels is not the right indicator to judge the photos. Even during low light, I found better details and highlights from OnePlus versus Nothing. It's just in the ultra-wide-angle shots, you end up getting better details from the Nothing Phone 2A. I am also pretty content with the portraits. It has decent edge detection and the background blur looks more natural than the one from Nothing. But I think it's now time for OnePlus to start including 2x portraits for better focal length and framing. OnePlus, however, over-sharpens the skin tone in selfies, but in general, the photos come out good. Altogether, the OnePlus Nord CE4, considering its price, does an okay job in the photography aspect. But there are two things that I found missing while using this phone. First is that it does not have a macro lens or an autofocus in the ultra-wide-angle lens, so I missed clicking those close-up shots from this phone. Second, the 4K videos shot from this phone are not very good. It has slight jitters and ends up ruining the recordings, and the ultra-wide-angle videos are too narrow and can only be recorded in full HD with very little details. But overall, like I said at the very beginning of this video, for me, the OnePlus Nord CE4 is easily the most balanced mid-range phone of 2024. It nails the 5 pillars of a great smartphone experience, be it design, the multimedia, performance and software, cameras, or the battery life. This for me is the ultimate Thanos phone, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Yes, there are some facets it's not good at. For example, there is no proper EIS for videos, no vapor chamber cooling solution, no Gorilla Glass protection. The speed of its UFS 3.1 storage is also not competitive, and there are slight issues while calling as well. But these are some of the compromises you should be able to live by. Lastly, one more thing, I just checked the OnePlus Nord 3's price, and it is currently available for just 27,000 rupees at Amazon if you include the 5,000 rupee coupon and 2,000 rupee bank offers. So if that offer still stands, the Nord 3 is going to be a wiser choice. From a brighter display, Wi-Fi 6 support, faster performance, to better cameras and similar Android update support, paying like 2,000 rupees extra, you will definitely notice significant upgrades with the OnePlus Nord 3. So everybody, that was all for my full review of the OnePlus Nord CE4. Do let me know in the comments below if you would go for this one or add some money to get the OnePlus Nord 3. Saying this, I'm Pratima. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.